In this video, I'm going to be going over my honest review on Stan Ventures link building service. I have used Stan Ventures to build guest posts in the past, and my recent last guest post link I'm actually going to be reviewing. I am an affiliate with Stan Ventures. They did give me a free link to actually review their service after using their service, and I just wanted to actually give my honest opinion and also just talk about guest post link building and what to look for. In a few minutes, I'm going to share my screen and break down exactly what I look for, guest post examples, exactly what I go through whenever I'm doing guest posts or any type of link building where I know I'm going to have a featured link pointing back to my site. So I'm going to take you over the shoulder and show you all of that. Now, manual outreach by far is the best way to land really high quality links. Finding specific types of relevant sites, reaching out to them, building a real relationship and collaboration, and getting a link back to your site. It's the best way, but it's definitely time consuming, and I like to have diversified type of links. And if you're scaling and building quickly, Stan Ventures and other link services are definitely a way to go. One of the biggest pros about Stan Ventures link building service is they actually send you options. They let you take your time to look through these sites, make a decision, or even tell them, hey, I'm really looking for this type of metric, or I really want this type of specific thing within the site, and they'll find you that type of metric or that type of site. Now, keep in mind, if you're looking for a very high domain rating site with a lot of authority, with a lot of traffic, this is going to cost you more money, but it could be worth the bang for the buck depending on what you're trying to do, right? So I always look for quality sites. Again, I'm going to show you right over the shoulder what I'm looking for and what I do when I'm looking at the good and the bad when I'm dissecting these sites to see if I actually want to get a backlink back from them. Now, I will leave a link in the description down below that will actually give you 55% off of Stan Ventures link building service. Now, I'm not sure how long that deal will last, but you will get 55% off, and that is definitely better than paying the full price if you are going to start doing some link building with Stan Ventures. Let me share my screen now, dive in, and show you exactly what we have going on. Okay, so now that I'm sharing my screen, we're going to go over this step by step of what I actually look for with the guest post, show you some examples, and explain why I make the decisions I make. Now, when you order from Stan Ventures, they're going to come back to you with options, and that's what I said is a huge bonus. So after I place my order with Stan Ventures, they come back and they give you this link strategy spreadsheet, really with options, right? So now I get to take my time to look at the sites that they are presenting to me that have opportunities for what I like. What was great is I did go through, there were some opportunities, but there was a niche that I wanted that was very specific. I wanted something that was very specific to my post, and I just asked them, is there a way to find something around this niche? And they went and they actually presented some more sites to me, and the site I ended up picking is a green one. You notice that it's only 8,000 traffic, right? A lot of people look at the traffic, and traffic is a good key indicator, don't get me wrong. But again, this site to me, I believe was the most relevant to my niche, and as I'm going through these other type of data points and what I'm checking, you'll understand exactly what I do, and it passed all the tests for me, and I felt like I'd rather have a post on there because it's just so niche relevant. Now, the other sites, there were good sites. There were sites that looked pretty healthy, have good traffic, have good metrics. They were also okay when it came to relevancy, but ultimately I went with this one because of how relevant it was, and it passed all the other tests. Now, I'm going to jump in and show you exactly what I look for, and I'm going to share this sheet, and I'm actually going to go through one of the sites that they sent over to me with you and just go step by step through this so you can see exactly what I do. So first thing is, what does the site represent? So I'll go through each site and see what it represents, how relevant it is to a specific topic, and what is on it. So if I opened up one link, here is one of the links. Okay, it's Entrepreneur's Break. So right away with the name, you think it's about entrepreneurship and business. But as you can see through here, it's almost set up almost like a link farm. Link farms tend to have every single topic under their umbrella because they want to be able to post on every single topic and be able to link to things and charge people. So home, news, business, entertainment, tech, health, opinion. So for an example, Entrepreneur's Break, they have a health section. Me personally, if I had a health blog, and let's say I had a post that was around something in the health niche, I'd rather it be on a blog that is just relevant to health, not all of this other stuff, okay? And not saying that I wouldn't take a post from here, but it just might not be the best bang for my buck. So as I'm looking at it, I go, okay, it's not really lining directly up with what I want to rank for, right? Again, same type of example. If I had a health blog and I'm talking about maybe like a healthy recipe, this really wouldn't line up. I'd rather be either on like a recipe type of site or which is very relevant, right? Or a health type of site or eating type of site, right? That would line directly up. This has a lot of different subjects and topics. So the first thing I do is I go, okay, I'm not 100% on this, but I still don't exit out, okay? Again, if it's healthy, it's getting a lot of traffic, has good DR, passes my other tests, still could be something that I just end up posting on. If it's for the right price, I still might do it. So I look at it, I go, okay, let me jot down some notes. I'll come back over to the sheet and we'll just use this as an example. So I'll come over here to number 1, and what I'll do is I'll just take some notes on this. Is it relevant to my niche? Is it very relevant to my niche? Is it similar? A news website, or is it about news, business, fashion, money, health, right? Exactly what I just showed you. And I would just write it has a topic around my niche, but not super relevant. Okay? That's what I get from just looking at the site. Then I go on to my next thing. Now I'm going to bring this into Ahrefs, which is a tool that I love. There's also SEMrush. I'll leave these tools down below so you can just click on them if you're not using them and see what they're about. They do cost money. These tools are not the cheapest tools, but they give you a lot of great data. And the more you understand them and use them, you could get really good with these tools to do multiple different things. But one of the things we're going to look at now is consistent traffic. So I'll take this website that we were just looking at, which is Entrepreneur's Break. I'm going to go bring it into Ahrefs. So we are in Ahrefs and I pasted it in here. So I'm looking, has really good DR, UR. I like to see both that are good metrics. It has a lot of backlinks and referring domains, which is good. And what we're going to do is it does have a ton of traffic. These metrics look good to me. I mean, they have really good DR, good UR. It looks like they have a ton of referring domains, which is great. Organic traffic definitely looks great. I come down here and referring domains really spike from 2020 to 2022. So I do like to look into that because I want to see what this site was about in the past, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do on that. So this does come to my attention, like I want to see, but these metrics do look good. Now I want to look and dive more into traffic. I want to see if the traffic was stable. So another tool that I do like to use is SEMrush for that. So let me just jump into SEMrush. I see the DR, UR is good. Traffic looks good here. Lots of organic keywords. They did take a little bit of a hit here, but overall it looks pretty good from the metrics I see. Now I just want to look at the overall traffic status. Okay, so now I'm in SEMrush and I see the metrics here. Okay, authority score. Again, I would never just go by this, but I do like to see, does it have an authority score? Definitely looks good as an authority score. Then I come into traffic. So over the last 2 years, it's strange, right? It spiked up around here. Probably that was like October, November. Then it dropped. It took this dip. It must have been hit by something here, right? And the traffic went very, very low, which I don't like to see. But it looks like it started gaining traction in health again, and it's almost back to its top health peak. So, hey, this could be on the rise. Now, does this little thing concern me a little bit? It does, because I don't know, right, what happened during this time to cause that. What did the update see in December that it didn't like this type of content or strategy or whatever they were doing? Now, it looks like they bounced back. So when I see the bounce back, if I would have just saw this go up high, and even if it stayed like this and then drop, sometimes you'll see that, I would not, definitely not, get a post on here. But because it's climbing its way back up, okay, I'll put a check that, okay, the traffic is making its way back up. It looks pretty consistent. The metrics are really good on this site. Now again, the traffic, every software is different. This traffic is saying, what, 20,000. The other one's saying 40-something thousand. But regardless, I'm sure it's a ballpark around there. It's insane traffic regardless. But what I want to see is consistent traffic. What I don't want to see is that it started going up and then just dipped down all the way. that means something happened, that either an update hit it and Google does not value their content that's on the site, or thinks that the site is spammy or got penalized. And I don't want to post on something that doesn't have consistent traffic. Consistent traffic means that they are getting found for organic keywords. So then I'll jump back into Ahrefs, and once I'm in Ahrefs, I'm going to go over to top pages. I want to see the top pages that this ranks for and the topics that they're ranking for. So it looks like their top pages are these pages, and let me just look at this page. We'll open it up. Not sure exactly what this is, but I want to see if what they're getting traffic for is also relevant to my niche. I know these are a lot of steps, but for me it's important. I just want to see like what their content is about that's getting them the most traffic. Because if their content that is ranking for really relevant topics around what I want to rank for, and it's in the same niche, that's a great sign. If this has really good, strong metrics, it's getting a lot of traffic on a similar topic, and people know about this website and brand for that, and Google values it around that topic, when they link to me on a relevant topic, it's only going to put more juice and power towards me. So as I'm looking at this, more of a political topic, so I'm just getting a good sense of, okay, what's going on here? Let me go take some notes. So in my notes, I'm just highlighting my answers. So Ahrefs, consistent traffic. Bonus, if all US traffic. That is another thing that I do like to look at too, and we'll jump back so I could show you that. Is there any serious drops? There was a serious drop in the past. SEMrush showed that, but it looks like it's climbing back up and staying steady. What I'm going to put here, and actually this should be another number, right? I'm going to put here drop in the past, steady climb now. Traffic coming from non-relevant topics. Okay, and that's just what I'm looking at. So now what I'll do is I will just highlight this so I know that stands out to me. And I did want to show you US traffic. Let me just jump back over to Ahrefs. So in Ahrefs, I came over to organic search, and it looks like 66% is coming from the US, which is good. That is a good number. Sometimes you will see sites where like 90% is US, which is great. I do like to see US traffic. I'll also cross-reference it in SEMrush. So pretty similar. It's saying US 74% traffic. Not bad. Anything that is 65% and over is good. Again, sometimes you'll see things in the 80s, 90s, and that's always a great sign for me. Just say right here, over 65% US traffic. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Now we're going to go into WayBack Machine. So we're going to take this domain, and we are going to put it in the WayBack Machine. Now, if you never use the WayBack Machine, it is archive.org, but you can just Google WayBack Machine right here, archive.org, and this is going to allow us to see what the site was in the past. So one great thing is I do like old websites. I like aged websites. I think there's something great about an aged website. There is a lot of gaps here though, right? So what I want to do is see in 2012, it looks like this was started, which is a good sign it's old, but what was the site actually themed around? Okay, so it used to be a 301 redirect over to a Facebook page. So I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to jump into 2013 and see if they actually started a site here. Let's look at this screenshot. Okay, it looks like they were building an email list here. Now I'm just going to come up here and start clicking around to other sections where they have timestamped the site and allow me to see what it used to be. Entrepreneurs Break sets up informal events. All right, so it looks like it was just a typical type of entrepreneur site. People trying to do maybe like a meetup. Looks like they had like an active Facebook page or group with it. And I'll go through this time slot because I want to see if it ever changed or when did it change. And usually when I see big gaps is when the site might have had a big change. And as you do more and more of this, you get better at dissecting things and seeing patterns and understanding what you want. Again, most link building services, they don't give you the option to be able to see what sites that you can be featured on. That's why manual outreach, where you're doing all this research first and then outreaching because you know already that this is a site you want to be on, is so much more powerful. Now look at this. It looks like this site, entrepreneursbreak.com, turned into some type of Swedish site at some point. I do not like to see this. A foreign language with all these type of shoes on here. It looks very spammy. And this is why I do my due diligence. Not saying that the site cannot be healthy right now. They could have rebuilt it, right? But usually there's a sign that at one point they might have been penalized or using this and getting spammed with spammy links, especially with a foreign language like this. For me, it's not a great sign. And I'm not saying that this site can't be powerful. It might, but I just know there's other sites out there. So for me, right away, seeing this, I probably most likely would just cross it off my list, and that's probably why I moved on. But that's why we do this stuff. So I would come in here and just put was once a sneaker website. And also what it allows me to do is on the next thing, when I look at backlinks coming in Ahrefs and SEMrush, it's going to allow me to kind of look for, hey, was there any spammy Swedish anchor text and links coming in? Are they still living on the site? Because that's not something I want either. So let me just bring this into Ahrefs and let's get into the next thing, which is looking at backlinks coming in. Okay, so now I said I want to dissect the backlinks. So I'll come over here and look at backlinks. And what I'll usually do is I just want to see the type of sites that are pointing into this site, and I'll organize it by DR. I like domain rating, and then I'll also look at domain traffic. So we'll look at this. Here's a marketing site, Behance, and I just want to see, okay, what kind of links do they have? Do they have authority links? What kind are they? They're not in English, some of them, so like I look at that too. And I just want to see, does it look spammy to me? And if I start to see things that are not in English, and again, that's not saying that it's definitely not a good site. It's just that usually is an indicator that it might have been a site that wasn't in English and maybe not even on the topic, or transferred into something, or maybe even turned into a spammy PBN. That does happen sometimes. Doesn't mean you can't rebuild the site and make it powerful again if you're doing the right things. But again, why waste the energy there? There's so many other sites right out there that you can do this and find just healthy, more relevant sites, so you could just move on. So I definitely would have moved on by now, but I want to take you through every single step, because let's say it passed all of these steps, but maybe the very last one it didn't. Now I'm going to go into anchors, and we're going to look at anchor text. I like to see a natural anchor text portfolio. So that's like naked URLs, the brand, Entrepreneur's Break. These all look good. Read more info, website. And then as I'm coming down, I just want to see if I see any patterns of spam. And I'll jump to page 6. And again, I'm just jumping around to see, because there's so many links and pages. Let's go to the very end. Okay, so I don't like this. And this is what I was looking for, probably another sign of why I moved on. When I see anchor text with different language, and you see this, CBD, this is not good. To me, again, not saying that you can't revive the site, but in the past, and it was probably around the time where I showed you it was that sneaker, spammy sneaker store, somebody took Entrepreneur's Break, turned it into a sneaker store in another language, and these links probably most likely started coming in around then, maybe a little bit before, but I just don't, when I see anchor text like this, the anchor text portfolio, CBD, 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 it might even been turned into a CBD for a store or a CBD type of site for a little bit. I just don't like this stuff. I'm moving on. Okay, so I'd come back over to my notes and I'm gonna write, and again, you notice how I had to go through a lot of pages. When you see a site with a lot of links, just because you see a lot of good stuff on the first or second page, you have to go through the back pages because they could be blanketing and just hitting their site with a lot of natural stuff now. So that obviously is going to have the most natural stuff, which is good. That's what we want to see. Like we want to see the brand name as an anchor text. Click here, generic stuff, the naked URL, right? Just the word website. All of that natural stuff is good. But as we're going through the pages, if I start seeing spammy stuff, you'll see stuff like Viagra, CBD, anything spammy, and then other languages. I just feel that it's a very vulnerable site, and that's just my opinion. Not saying that it can't have any juice and power right now. There could be really good SEO people that revive these sites and they can leverage them and it could be powerful. But again, there's other sites to choose from. So what I'll put for this site, and I just write did not pass the test. Foreign CBD anchors. Anchor text coming in. I'm going to put here, did not pass the test, foreign CBD anchors coming in. There was some branded stuff. I didn't see any relevancy also looking through the anchors towards the niche that I'm in. Okay, and that's another thing. If I'm seeing anchors coming in towards the niche I'm in, that's another great sign. Backlinks coming into that domain. Some of them had good DR, but they weren't sites that stood out to me, so they were okay. Again, nothing great, and that's just my opinion. So this did not pass the test. Now I wanted to go through this and show you this step by step so you understand what I look at. This is just how I do my due diligence, okay? So I'm looking at these 5 things and going through each site, and I'm looking for them to be somewhat relevant, somewhat healthy, something I feel is just a little bit more powerful. If I see a site that has less traffic, but it's more relevant and healthy, I feel, obviously I go with that. And you can see from here that I did that. And again, I want to stress this, not saying that this site can't produce a little bit of juice over towards my post, but why do that when I have the options? And that's what's great is Stan Ventures gave me options. I reached back out and said, do you have anything even more specific for this? They went out, they found something even more specific. I did my homework on it. It looked good. The metrics were a little lower than this, but for me, the relevancy and the health of that site was far better, so I went with that site. So I hope that makes sense to do your due diligence. So I just want to go over the site that I did pick. Now, I'm not going to share the site, and also I'm not going to share the niche site that I was working on, but I am going to talk about why I did pick this actual site. And this is what I love about Stan Ventures, giving you multiple options to go and do your due diligence. So the site that I did pick obviously doesn't have the most traffic, doesn't have the highest DR out of everything, right? Most people would just go, oh, what has the most traffic and the highest power? Again, that can be manipulated. To me, what's more important is health and relevancy, like real specific relevancy. And if you go through and do the step-by-step check system that I'm doing, it passed. It passed with flying colors. This site right here, if I come over to my checklist, I'll ask myself, what does this site represent? It's actually very, very specific to the topic that is mentioned throughout that blog post. It also has a whole category and content around that specific niche topic. So that was like a thumbs up, right? Then I went into Ahrefs. I looked at the traffic, and it looked pretty healthy and consistent. Now, it wasn't the most traffic, but I like to see consistency. I also took it in WayBack Machine, and I did also notice that in WayBack Machine, it's an age site from 2018, and it never changed off of the same topic. It's always been talking about the same thing, which is great to me. It also had high US traffic, which is also another plus in my eyes. That's a bonus. And then I look at the backlinks coming in. Relevant, good, strong backlinks coming in. Also relevant on the niche and topic. So that's a plus. They were healthy links coming in. Anchor text. There was actually anchor text coming in
that are broad and vary around the topic that I like. It wasn't anything spammy, no foreign language, no CBD or anything that looked spammy coming in. It was natural, a lot of natural anchor text, and I think this actual site has a chance to continue to grow with a healthy base of anchors and links as long as they keep putting out good content. And again, overall, this site passed the test from relevancy point and health wise. So that's why I picked this site. Now, if this site had the metrics of the other site and was this relevant and healthy, it would really be very, very powerful for me. Again, this is still going to pass over relevancy and juice, and it's a great link to get. I think Stan Ventures does present a great opportunity if you're going to use a link building service where you can get a list of sites, actually go through them with the due diligence, find a site that's right for you, that matches up with your relevancy and health score, and boom, now you have a guest post where you didn't have to go out, do your due diligence on multiple sites, put them in a contact sheet, outreach, and do the manual labor. Now, those links are still good. I do encourage you to do that, but you can mix in these link building services at the same time and build diversified links that are relevant, that are powerful on healthy sites.
I hope you found some value in this video, understanding guest posting, what I look for, what you should be looking for, paying attention, making sure you're getting the best type of quality links pointing back to your site. Remember, diversifying, in my opinion, is one of the best things. Building links is hands down one of the most powerful things. I know many people say they don't build links, you shouldn't build links, you should build links. I am big with building links, again, in a very specific way. Manual outreach, hands down the best, most organic way of collaborating, building relationships, getting really high-powered links, but diversifying. It's good to sprinkle in different types of links, get a diverse link profile. Again, if you're looking for a service, link building service, check out Stan Ventures. I will leave that link down below in the description. Also, check out any other resources I might have mentioned down below in the description. If you have a local SEO agency, if you're doing rank and rent and trying to rank your local property, these links could do wonders. If you are an affiliate marketer, you have a blog, big blog, affiliate blog, again, building links, especially on those tougher posts that require higher DR and UR, you need to boost that. You need relevant, high quality links coming into those posts. So when I see those type of posts that are stuck on page 2, 3, 4, 5, when I see the competitors are more powerful, have more authority, it's time to link build. Again, I hope you found value. Any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'll see you in the next video.